Okay, stem and leaf, all it means is um, a way to describe a lot of data. This number here, this just represents the first number, okay? And all these represent numbers after that. So in other words, that whole category is 5'2" 5'9", 5'10", and 5'11", okay? All right, that's how that reads. So this would be 6'2", 6'3", 6'6", and 6'8", and so on. And that's how you read a stem and leaf, okay? So to answer the actual question, less than 8 feet tall, well, then it's just you add up all the data below 8 feet. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 4 in the 5-foot category, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6 in the 6-foot category, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 14. So there's 6 in the 7-foot category, so 14 total. Okay, 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Same thing, just be careful on this one. This means hundreds of thousands, okay? And this means add 10,000, whatever that number is. So this would mean 200,000, 200,000, 400, I mean, no, I'm sorry, 20,000, 20,000, 40,000, okay? Because there's no 100,000s, okay? So this would be 100,000 plus, the first one would be no 10,000, so the first one would be 100,000. Next one would be 110,000, so it's basically 100,000 plus 10,000, 100,000 plus 10,000 for 110,000, okay? All right. And so the most expensive house, which is asked in a couple of other questions you'll see, is 300,000 plus 80,000. So that would be 380,000 as the most expensive house of anything. The most expensive house in the 200,000 range is 200,000 plus the 80,000, and you get 280,000. This one's the same thing. They just kind of split it up in the left side actors, right side actresses. So there are no actors in the 20s, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 actresses in the 20s, 21, 24, 26, 26, 26, and 27. And there are several of a lot of the rest. So actors are 31, 32, 32, 33, and so on. And actresses are 30, 30, 31, 31, 33. This one you just find the numbers that begin with 7. You got to put them in order. Notice all the leaves are in order. These are all the 50s. These are all the 60s in order. These are all the 70s. So the 3 are 76, 75, and 78 must be around here somewhere. 78. But you have to list them in order. So it would be 5, 6, and 8. The frequency of the class containing the value 32. Well, 32 is right in here. 32 is right in here, between 30.5 and 36.5, and it looks like that value there would be 9, because it's between 8 and 10. Between 8 and 10, halfway between 8 and 10 here, so this would be 9. The answer is 9. I'm trying to keep these videos short so you could read this, but basically all this is saying is the number 2 falls between 1.5 and 2.5, okay? And the frequency is 9. Here's 2. Here's 9. Okay. All right. If it said more than 2 items, okay, then you would, more than 2 items means you take starting right here, because you will be asked that probably at some point. Start here because that's more than 2. The 3 starts more than 2. So you'd add up all these, all the frequencies. So this would be 11. This is 15, this is 10, this is 7, and this is 5. So you'd add those up, and if I asked you the question, what is the frequency of more than 2 items? More than 2 items. You would say 11 and 15 is 26, and 10 is 36, 43, you would answer 48, if that were asked. Well, this one, you'll have to estimate what these numbers are. But that's why they give you multiple choice answers, because there's only one that's totally obvious, that is close to what it should be. So less than 72 inches, okay? Okay, so then I would add this one here, and this one here. And this one too, because 72 is the high end over here, okay? How it reads is, this is between 60 and 63, this is between 63 and 66, and so on. So you would add up these, and I think you get 91 or 92, but anyway, that's why they give you multiple choice, because it's up to interpretation of what some of these numbers are, and the closest one, when you add them up, is 92. Okay, 6 items at most. It falls between 5.5 and 6.5. So at most means including 6. So you would add up these. This is 7, because it's right here. This is 8. This is 11. This is 15. That's 10. That's 8. And if you add them up, you get 59. And this one, they're asking which has the highest frequency. Well, basically it's 1 is between 1/2 and 1.5. 2 is between 1.5 and 2.5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4 is right here, and the frequency is the highest at 13, so the answer is 4. This one says at least 1 taco, so that means all of these. At least 1 means 1 or more, so all the way up to through 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you add up these frequencies, and you arrive at 65. Okay, I've wrote this to illustrate. Class width is how many numbers are in each class. This is a class, 160 to 169. You notice that every time a class ends, the next number starts. So in other words, how many between 160 and 169? How many between 170 and 179? There are 47 between 160 and 169. There are 93 between 170 and 179, and so on. Okay? But the class width is not 9, because look here, I broke this down here a little bit so you could count. How many numbers are between 10 and 14, including 10 and 14? 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, okay? There's 5 of them, so you really take the difference and add 1. That's your class width, because you're including the lower number and the higher number. All of the class widths will always be the same. So this class width is 5 again, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This is 5 again, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, it's not 4, it's 5. So basically, if you count between 160 and 169, if you count them up, you're going to get 10. Okay, the class width here is the difference between it is the actual difference between these two numbers, 1 and 4. So the class width is 3, okay? And if you add all these up, you get 41. Add up the frequencies, you would get 41. So 2 plus 10 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 7 is 41. Again, each class has 2 numbers, so the class width is 2, and if you total all these up, or all the frequencies up, you'll get sample size, which is small n is 222. The class width for these is just the difference between all of these numbers on the bottom, which is in the middle of everything. So 74.5 to 124.5 to 174.5 is, all of them are 50. If you add up all these frequencies, you get a sample size of 310. The bin width is the same thing as the sample size. I don't know why they changed the word. Again, the bin width is the same thing as the class width, okay? I don't know what I said before. I may have missaid that. The bin width and the class width are the same thing. Sample size is adding all those up. Okay, this one is going to take a minute to explain. It says the important part to read here is each bin contains its lower class boundary, but not its upper bin boundary, okay? All right, so what that means is this here, say this is 60 and 65. So let's just do the first one, okay? All right. That means that class contains 60, 61, 62, 63, and 64 because each number is the lower class boundary. So 65 would be the lowest number of the next class, and 70 would be the lowest number of the next class. So each of these, so the second class contains 65, 66, 67, 68, and 69. See what I mean? And then the next class contains 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. So each number you see is the lower class limit. Okay, the upper class limit is not stated. Okay, because you can't put both. You can't share 2 lines. So the maximum in this whole thing is 99 because 100 doesn't exist, because so you have 60, 61, 62, 63, 64 in this class, and then just jump ahead. 80, 81, 82, 83, 84 in this class, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94 in this class, and 95, 96, 97, 98, 99 in this class. So the maximum is 99, not 100. And that's how you read this when it's giving you just lower class boundaries but no uppers, and just telling you that, okay? And again, each of these is 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14 would be the height for the first class, then 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 for the second class. So the lowest is 10, but the highest is 49, not 50, because the last class contains 45, 46, 47, 48, and 49. So this question says, what is the minimum possible number of parasites for the class containing the value of 72? Well, the class of 72 is contained in the class of 70, 71, 72, 73, and 74. So the lowest number in that class is 70. This one you just have to, I think this is trying to just test your intelligence on how to read the chart. The number here in the bottom is the amount of sugar in milligrams. The frequency is the number of snacks, okay? So if you read all, these are wrong because it's not 230 snacks. Okay, that's the amount of sugar. And the largest number of snacks doesn't have 13 milligrams of sugar. That's the highest number of frequency, okay? So the only one that's correct, if you read these correctly, that the bottom is the amount of sugar in milligrams, and the frequency is the number of bars going up this way, or number of snacks. 10 snacks have about 230 milligrams of sugar. Okay, the first thing you have to do is, and again, let me go back to the problem so you could read it. These were the 50 ages that were observed during a hospital week, okay? Now I'll go to my snip. All right, so the first thing you have to do is add up all the frequencies. When you do that, you get 50, okay? 3 plus 18 plus 13 and so on. How this reads is that if the middle is 10, that means, and the middle of each is 20, that means the class width of each is 20. So each of these represents the middle of each class. 10 represents the middle of this one, which is between 5 and 14 really, as it's 15. These are all lower class numbers. So each class width is 10. And so if you add up all the ones that are less than 35, starting right here at 13 and go down, so 13 plus 18 is 31, plus 3 is 34. So you get 34 out of 50, which is 0.68. And if you change that to a percentage, it's 68%. Okay. So the number of women that are exactly 63 inches tall is right here. And that answer is 11. At least 67 or 67 or more. So you would take all these here and add them up. Okay. So 8 and 6 is 14 and 6 is 20. Oh, just made a slight mistake there. Starting with 67, it starts here. You add these up. Okay, so 6 plus 3 is 9, plus 3 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Okay, and then what percent were less than 62 inches tall? Well, if you add them all up, okay, if you add up all the frequencies, you get 71. Okay. The ones that are less than 62 inches tall, less than 62, not including 62, less than, are 60 and 61, which is 1 plus 3, which is 4. Now, 4 divided by 71 is 0.0563. Pay attention to what it tells you to do here. 2 decimal places after the percentage. So this as a percentage, multiply by 100 and move the decimal over 2 places, you get 5.63%.